Hi again. It's funny me. I'm trying the live thing. Haven't done this in so long. Let's see. So I shared the link, so now maybe there'll be more viewers. I don't know. This is broadcasting from Hangout. It's on air, so I can't see what's going on in the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this and you're commenting, unfortunately, I don't see any I don't get to see the comments. So, well, again, Pioneer Saloon. And actually, there's another t-shirt back there. Oh, right there. It says the Hollywood Ghost Hunters group team from Hollywood. Rick McCallum. He was a co-founder, one of the co-founders. Nice guy, very cool. Got to meet him out of the Pioneer Saloon one night, or a couple times actually. We had some strange, well, he had some strange experiences out there one night. The first night he was there, kind of freaked everybody out a little bit, but he's okay. He lived. So here I am. I want to talk about some of these ghost paranormal stuff that I've been doing. As you know, I'm part of the Pioneer team, and I also have my brothers and I myself's team, L&D Paranormal Seekers. We formed in 2014, me and my brother, and we've been kind of going places. We went to Rhyolite, Nevada. We went to PO. We stayed at the Overland Hotel overnight in room number 10. He didn't have much experiences, but I had all the experiences, I think. When I was sleeping in that room, it's just one of those odd kind of looking rooms where there's one room on this side, and then there's another room on this side. And in between, there's like a hallway, like a foyer. I stayed on this side, which was a side with no windows. They had like an indent, and somebody painted a country scene on it to make it look like a window. They had put curtains on it. But it was actually just an indent in the wall. It looked like it was a chute, a clothes chute or something where they would drop the dirty linens and stuff down to the basement. But they just had blocked it off with a drywall or something. But that's what it looked like to me. So that's the room I stayed in. And when I went to sleep, I got woken up in the middle of the night by someone grabbing my arm. Originally, I thought it was my brother playing a joke on me. I mean, just to scare me, but I didn't hear nobody talking to me. It was just pulling, like tugging on my sleeve here. And then suddenly, it did it again. But this time I was awake and trying to not freak out a little bit. I was like looking around. I had a hoodie sweater on, and so I had it pulled over my head like this, and I was trying to kind of ignore it, but it wouldn't let go. So the third time, it just pulled my sleeve like this, and then yanked me, trying to turn me over. I guess they wanted my attention or somebody, but I know there was no one there. There was just me in that room. So that kind of freaked, and I just kind of whispered or talked to me like, "Oh no, I need to get a rest because I have to drive back. I'm kind of tired. I don't want to talk right now." And it kind of stopped. So I'm thinking it was just somebody who just wanted a little conversation from the paranormal or the ghosts, spirits, and they didn't know how else to get my attention except to grab my arm with it. And definitely got my attention, but it kind of stopped. So it went up. And that was it, and we left. And then we went to Utah, Salt Lake City for Chad Killick's movie premiere, Cerno Face. The movie itself was pretty good. The evidence they caught, I'm not going to say what it is if you've never seen it, but it's pretty compelling. I mean, it's hard to say that it's not a spirit or ghost, what they caught. It was a great experience. We got to hang out with Chad a little bit, Chad and Craig Powell. Craig Powell, from Whisper, from Australia, which is actually his footage that he caught on Cockatoo Island. But pretty cool team, the movie premiere stuff. And then afterwards, we got to do the Ogden Union Station. We did a little short, an hour or 2 hour investigation afterwards with Chad Killick and Craig. And we had some experiences. I didn't get touched or anything, but I caught some EVPs and my brother got some EVPs on his video camera, which we didn't hear with our ears, but we heard after I came home. I listened to everything. It's pretty freaky, kind of what they're saying. They weren't just saying evil stuff. It was just some whispering, the normal EVP, what people say. Then we had that experience and we came home. And then I've been going to the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs this whole time since about 2014, I think, end of 2013, when they started having the haunted lockdown events and stuff. And all like that, but they're pretty cool out there, actually. They're pretty friendly. Nothing to be afraid about there. Even the ghosts are pretty laid back, I think. They're just town folk, actually. Most of the spirits out there. Like any town, you have good people, good bad people. You have like tourists or the visitors that come through. Not the actual people live there. So you got all kinds of spirits. People from a long time ago, from the turn of the century, to maybe even more recent deaths, who were connected with the saloon or connected with the people. They kind of pop in. So that's another experience that I'm still experiencing. And I'm part of their team, the Pioneer Saloon Investigators, PSI, which is that shirt right there again. Let's see, this Jill, Ellen Padovizzi, Mary Lynn Bass, Jennifer Fragnoli, Ara Harris, and her husband Daryl Harris. Daryl sometimes he's a globetrotter with his music. He's a bass musician actually right now he's with Bruce in the USA tribute band, the Bruce Springsteen tribute band. And he's on tour right now, so he's not really at the lockdowns, but his wife is there, Ara. She's a great makeup artist in her own right. And then Jill, myself, Jennifer, and the newest member actually is Mary Lynn. She's a psychic medium. She's also an author. And she has our website. She's a very talented psychic medium, very in tune, very helpful to everybody. And let's see, the Noel Shekels is a proprietor, and his wife, Sherry. There's a lot of great people out there. Should come out and see us. Well, not see me, but see them. And the saloon, it has a lot of history. It's built in 1913 in the town of Good Springs, which used to be the booming mining town back then at the turn of the century. That was the hub of southern Nevada. It wasn't Las Vegas at the time. Las Vegas was just more like a railroad stop with a few tents, maybe a shack. But Good Springs is actually the booming town that they say it is. I would think they said it was like over 2,000 people, residents at one point, I think. And the road, I think it was the main road to California. The Spanish trails, they would go through the mountains. Because I-15, the interstate was not built back then. And there was one stop on the Spanish trails. The other stop is at Bonnie Springs, or Red Rock Canyon. Around that area, there was another stop there. And wherever there's water, usually there's a stop where people get rest. They have fill up or whatever, get the goods, and then they take off to Southern California or the West Coast, or they're coming back. So that's the main thing of the Pioneer Good Springs. And another thing is that a long time ago, that used to be Native American Indian land. I think it was mainly Paiute, Shoshone, and they think even a long time ago, maybe Aztecs, Incas, maybe, because they had drawings like petroglyphs or hieroglyphs or whatever they call them, of Indian drawings on the rocks nearby the saloon in the back near the mountain. And they say if you can get an ATV or something, you can drive up there and actually look at them. I'm not sure where, but I've never been there, but they say they're there somewhere up on the mountains. And then of course the more famous celebrity who's associated with the saloon or area is Carol Lombard. We just had a Lombard special haunted lockdown for her 75th anniversary of the plane going down with her and her mother and her little publicist team, I think. And then there were like 20 or so airmen that were flying with her back to California. Everyone perished, unfortunately, and there are still mysterious circumstances as why the plane went into the mountain. It was either pilot error or there was a malfunction, or could be any number of things. But at the time, because there was no modern technology, they have no way to actually investigate it other than go up there, look at what happened. I mean, look at the wreckage. And it was because it happened in January. It was snowing and it was bad weather. And it was very treacherous to get up to this spot on the mountain where it crashed. So basically, they just went to get body retrievals and their personal belongings as much as they could. And that's it. The entire wreckage was left up there. But it's really hard to get to. I'm told that you need to basically almost be a mountain climber or an experienced hiker to get to the actual scene, because you can actually fall down off the mountain. It's so hilly and cliffy, I think. But that was 75 years ago. We headed on Monday, which was the 16th of January. We had a few guests. And we actually think we have recorded Carol Lombard's voice coming through on the voice recorders and on the spirit box, because they were asking for her, obviously, because it was her anniversary date. And we celebrated, we toasted to her and everything. And then we thought I heard a female when they asked us, Carol Lombard, or Carol, you're here? And we heard a female saying yes. And then another guest asked, well, is your husband here, Clark? And we hear another voice saying yes. So I'm thinking they were together just that night. Other times she doesn't stay there a lot. She just kind of pops in, or maybe she hears somebody calling her name and then she kind of pops out. I mean, I don't know what you call it. They affectionately call them at the saloon flybys because it's Carol. And then I don't think Clark is there at all much, unless you ask for him. I think every so often. I've never actually heard his voice on the spirit box coming through or anything like that clearly, that I can say, yeah, it is Clark. But a few people have said they've seen his operation or something. They're not guessing, kind of. It's like a mist that appears and it goes away. Right near the end of the bar where he says that they say he was sitting for a while, smoking cigars, waiting for Carol's remains to be returned and stuff like that. So that's that story. It's pretty sad, but tragic. But things happen like that. So we don't make it out alive. We don't all make it out. So that's that one. And then let's see. There's a few other. My phone went off. There's a few other things. Not things, but spirits that hang out. Paul Kosky. He's more famous now that he has passed away than he was when he was alive, I think. Not making fun of him or anything. It's just because everyone knows the story. It was a documented killing in the saloon because he was a card cheater. He was caught cheating cards, and back then that was punishable by death. People fight and they kill each other by guns or whatever, stabbings. And if you were proven to be a cheater, it's basically the same thing as thief. You're a thief. You're stealing money from people in the wrong way. All right, if there is a right way, but this is the wrong way. So same like horse thieves, and they would a long time ago string up in the nearest tree. I mean, you could prove that they actually stole your property like that, because back then the horses were part of your life. I mean, there were no cars, so you don't have. If somebody takes your horse, that's pretty much how you get around back then. Before they had cars. So that was punishable by hangings and all kinds of shootings. But yeah, he is a really famous ghost spirit there. And there is on the wall they have like the coroner's documents detailing what happened and the letter they sent back to his family about his body or his remains and all like that. It's hanging in the saloon. So that's actually a documented case. But it's very interesting if you're really into the history of the West, Old West, Nevada history, mining. I mean, they got all kinds like that. Even walking down the middle of the street, the main drag to this small Good Springs, you can look left and right, and there's like buildings from the turn of the century. There is the oldest building that is still standing that was built in 1894, 93, right in town in the Good Springs. It's kind of fenced in. You can't get into it, but it's the A.G. Campbell house cabin. It's actually a stone, really small stone building, and actually someone lived there. A.G. Campbell, one of the founders of Good Springs. And they say this reported to be haunted too. Not in a totally positive way. Some people experience being poked in the back, like, or even get like a stabbing feeling in their back, like they're not just a poke, but and then they've heard voices. They recorded, a couple of people recorded EVPs, but like I said, you really can't get in there. It's all padlocked because it's actually, it looks kind of crumbling, like it's decaying. So that's why it's for safety reasons. You're not allowed to go in there. And then we have they have the old school, which is built in 1913, the same as a saloon. It's one of I think it's the oldest active elementary school in Clark County, or at least in southern Nevada, since it's been active since 1913. It's a one-room school. I think they said they have 6 children now going to that school, which is, for me, it's kind of strange. I went to public school here in town, North Town, and we had a lot more than 6 kids in the class, and we all were the same age. They put us all together. So that to me is kind of pretty cool, because I never lived in any place where they had a one-room school. And then I did meet one lady one night who is a resident at Good Springs. She says she's born and raised there, and then she never knew there was a Las Vegas until she was a lot older, and they had to go to town for a doctor appointment or something. She was like 14 or something. And she said she never knew there was a world besides Good Springs, past the freeway, past Jean, until that day they went into town. And it was like a whole new world. But she said she never really wanted to leave Good Springs. A lot of the residents, well, a few of them they really don't want to live anywhere else because they prefer to live in there, the small town feel and everything. And you know everybody, so that's like the Pioneer Good Springs tour. Another thing is this coming Saturday, January 21st, I'm going to be doing an event called The Block Party. It's hosted by, well, one of the event organizers is Mary Lynn Bast, one of our team members. And it's going to be I think it's the H&R Block parking lot on Rainbow. Let's see, Rainbow, between Windmill and I think way out there, Rainbow Windmill. If you're in Las Vegas area, you know what that is. I'll be there hopefully I'll be there 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with my brother Dennis. You can meet us if you want. I mean, we're not famous or anything, but we can talk about the Pioneer Saloon if you want. And I will have some of my books out there. I am an author, self-published author on Amazon. I have 2 books out, actually 3, but I might have all 3 there. I'm not sure. But the 2 books, the 2 newer ones, actually document some of my travels, a lot of my experiences from the family at this house where I'm sitting in, where all the experiences started, the paranormal stuff, the attack, and few other things. And the kind of they still continue me, but not as bad. It's not as intense as it was when my dad was passing away. So, but yeah, those are my 2 books. And then the first one I had is more like a picture book, and it's really thin, so maybe I just give you a free book. Maybe, I don't know, if I even bring it out there. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And I've been told that they're going to have live music. Another friend of Mary Lynn, his name is Justin. He's part of the wrestling team, a local wrestling team, but he's got a TV show. And I think they're going to try and do a live broadcast out there of a wrestling match. So that'd be interesting. I mean, I'm not a big fan of wrestling, TV wrestling, but my dad was, so I know a lot of the, from TV anyway, I know a lot of the wrestlers and stuff just by on TV. I don't really know them personally, but you know, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully it won't have bad weather and we'll just be able to sit there a long time. So you just come out and meet us or come out and meet anybody else there. I think there's going to be a lot of vendors that put in their applications. So that's the next thing. And then Friday night, we've got another lockdown, a haunted lockdown at the Pioneer Saloon. I think there's like 4 or 5 people right now, but it's still time if you want to come out and experience the spooky time or whatever. It's not very spooky to me now because I've been doing it for so long out there. I'm kind of used to it. So you can just talk to the spirits. You can just sit there and watch, or you can, I mean, you can do pretty much whatever, like ask questions. You can do walk around. You can do like a little investigation yourself. Because we have the bar, entire saloon to ourselves because they close the bar, and then we go in and we pretty much lock ourselves in, sort of, or basically lock people out so they don't come in and bother us. So, and the only thing is, right now it's kind of cold out there. So if you do want to come out, I would suggest you wear little warmer clothes, like a coat or like layering or something, because it gets pretty cold out there. Because it's, the elevation from Good Springs to Las Vegas it's a little higher than it is here in Vegas, so it's a lot cooler, about 10 degrees cooler. And they do get snow out there. A few times they've been out there that actually snowed. It didn't actually stay on the ground much, a couple times, but yeah, it does snow. So be prepared for that. So if you want to experience that, their website is www.hauntedlockdown.com, and you can go on there and sign up. You can actually pick a date which one you want. There is no specific day we do this. Is whenever people sign up, because sometimes they come and they only tourists. They just want to experience something, so they pick their date while they're here. Sometimes it's the middle of the week. Sometimes it's the weekend. We have no preference ourselves. I mean, whenever people sign up, if we can do it then, and the saloon is available and open, and we can actually do it. So through the lockdowns with you, and that pretty much that part. I don't know what else I've been going to other than that lately. We did go to Nipton, California on the weekend. That was like December 31st, which is a Saturday, I think. Saturday. Yeah, I took my brother, we went off, and because I heard there was real haunted over there, Nipton, California. I wasn't sure exactly which building it was, so I told him, well, I think let's go in here in the restaurant and the little cafe, and the trading post. I think it's this area. I think because I read somewhere online that they used to have an underground railroad system, that they would transport a lot of the immigrant workers, like Chinese and whoever, I mean, and that's how they would take them back and forth to the work, the mining, the railroads. And then another paranormal investigator named Sherry, she kind of messaged me and said it's actually the hotel, little hotel right next to that cafe and trading post, which is actually active. We were there, but because there was guests there, we didn't really want to bother anybody, so we kind of stayed away. There were living guests. And another cool thing was they have an active railroad that goes right through the town. I mean, we were in the cafe because we were hungry and we were trying to get breakfast. And all of a sudden, this Union Pacific train came barreling down. It was a honking, the horn and everything, and it just went right through. And we were like, oh, we missed the train. We could have got good pictures when we were inside eating stuff. And it just took off and it was gone. It didn't stop or anything. So that was cool, I thought. And then we took off. We drove all the way through the back roads to the Mojave National Park, I think. And they had like certain things, like little mining stuff from a long time ago. If you're really into the history, like a tourist, you can just go off and drive out. Just be careful if it's raining, because it does flood. They have certain areas that like that. You can easily get stuck. So, and it does give you a warning. Flood waters ahead. They put little signs out. So we were watching out for that because it was getting really overcast, and I was trying to get out of there before if we hit any rains, but we were lucky and nothing happened for the rains. So that's the most recent trip we did for us, to just explore. So, but this hasn't been really much my paranormal experiences. I could tell you more about other stuff that happened to me. More recently, I've been hearing, I know this sounds freaky, but at work, I've been hearing people saying hey to me, which is odd. The last one was I was leaving work and I had my boss. We were going out together, and she went to her car, and I was at my car at the door, and I was about to open the door or unlock it, and I heard in a very deep voice a man saying hey. It was right here. It was like right behind my head. I mean, right behind me. And I know because the place is pretty much closing, the golf course where I work. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm gonna look around. I know there's nobody in the parking lot near me that could say that. And man, so I kind of, I did one of these. I looked all over the parking lot, and there was nobody there. There was no cars, probably maybe a couple of cars parked, but there's nobody in the cars. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm getting communicated with again. They definitely want to talk to me, I guess, but the ghost spirits, if you're really believing, I know skeptics will think I'm nuts, but but it does happen. I've heard other people say the same thing. They have experiences of people talking and stuff to them, and nobody's there. They hear disembodied voices. I've had that experience. Like I said, that one time, but that was the most recent. Let's see. I don't want to say where I work because I'm going to get in trouble, but I work in a golf course. We've had a few employees that have passed away, and sometimes we think that we hear noises in the kitchen and we kind of attribute it to certain people. One day, one person that I knew, he was like a buddy of mine, sort of co-worker buddy. He passed away, and then maybe a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks after his passing, he was a cashier, and his cash drawer, the one he used to use all the time, he never used any other cash register. So we had 2 cash registers, like one here, one there, and he would use this side one because the other lady would use this side one all the time. So that's the only one he used, and suddenly the cash drawer just opened up by itself. I wasn't there when it happened, but it happened in the afternoon. The other cook and the cashier who was working out of the cash drawer, they both said, oh my God, the drawer just opened up by itself. And right away, everybody said it must have been him, not me, coming back, trying to let us know that he was there. So that was, to me, because I'm so much into the paranormal, I thought it was pretty cool. Other people were kind of afraid or freaked out, so. And another thing he used to do was make a lot of noise. He used to like scare me. It was like a joke, kind of like a guy thing. He'd come behind you and go, ah, and then it makes you jump and stuff like that. But yeah, he used to do that to me a lot, and he used to like to see me react. So the big thing is we have these metal tables, countertop and stuff, and it makes a loud noise when you hit it. Anything. We have like shelves with the pots and pans, and he would be standing and he'll go bang, like make you kind of jump. But sometimes we actually hear them things going bang, the pots and pans. It sounds like somebody hitting it or hitting them together or something, and I'm usually back there. I'm usually near in the area with my back to it. So I'm thinking it's him. I don't know if it's him or somebody else, or even if it is paranormal, or maybe it's just something moving, but it always reminds me of him when it happens. I haven't had that experience in a while now, so I guess he kind of moved on. Just kind of hung out with us for a while, so he kind of probably got bored of it. So now he's on his way. He's the most one that really stands out because I worked with him for 15 years or so, and we really got to know each other. Just at work anyway. I don't know what else. I've had a lot of stuff, strange, random things happen to me. I've had stuff fly off the shelf at work. There was just like a box of a baskets or something, paper baskets, and then it was behind me for a long time, all morning. It was just stacked up. It was a movie. And then we were, one of the vendors was coming in. I was telling him about this, the paranormal. He was into it, one of the delivery guys, I mean. And suddenly all these boxes went, shoot, went flying off the shelf. I mean, just fell off. So I'm thinking somebody who was there listening and either didn't appreciate us talking about the paranormal or was interested in it and was just trying to get our attention, like, ooh, you know, he kind of went, ooh, you know, then he left. but that's at work. So, let's see, at home, I used to see a long time ago, when my dad, like I said, when he was passing away, I used to see these little figures, like shadow. It's just like my head, like shape, but you have to imagine there's no face. It's all dark, kind of gray. And it's just like a round head face, head shape. And it would be like this screen. This is the kitchen window. And they'd be like looking like this, or they'd be like this, but you know, all covered. And there'd be like two, I think. And this happened a couple times in the kitchen, my front kitchen window. So I looked at it, and then even with a direct look, I could tell it was something there. It was like trying to look inside that window, and then it took off. It just kind of walked off to the side, never came inside. So at the time, my dad was sick, so I'm thinking they were looking for him. These are family members because they were kind of short like me, kind of small. I'm short, I'm 5 feet, so it was about my size, maybe smaller. And all his family members are pretty much short like me. We're all like 5 feet or under. So I'm really thinking that this was his family members looking. Maybe they're getting ready to help him cross over. Like many people say they do. They come for you and they greet you and they help you to transition. Very possible. I don't know. I mean, never died or had a near-death experience where I knew what it was. But that was a little freaky, especially since I've never seen one before. And I'm thinking, what am I looking at? What is this? And then they say that spirits can actually drain the energy from the house, like electrical. For a while, our house was kind of dim, right? Like it is right. My room was, this room here is pretty bright. I mean, it's like normal power. We used to have well, we still do. We have a hanging light in the living room, and it had a dimmer on it, and you would increase the dimmer power all the way up, so it was really bright, and then it would just slowly go down to maybe half, maybe 60% or something bright. And you don't only have to touch it, you just stand there and watch this thing and do it. And it would just go down and it would stop. That was it. It would just stop right there. And my mom was the first one who noticed that. And she pointed it out to me. She told me, hey, Linda, what's wrong with this thing? I don't know what's wrong with this electrical or what. She was afraid the house was going to catch on fire because there's something wrong with the power. So I took the remote because it had a dimmer remote, and I turned all the way up, and I would sit there and watch this thing go dimmer, dimmer, and then stop. I was like, that's weird, you know. Then my dad came out one day, and I was telling him, we were showing him this. Maybe he can check it or something, at least, you know, what's going on with this electrical issue. And he said, nah, it's nothing. He goes, I know what's wrong. He goes, well, what is it? Like, whatever. And he goes, nah, I don't want it. I know what's, you know, never mind. I know what I'm doing. Just leave it, you know. I don't want to go. I guess he was just didn't feel good or something. So, because he was getting sick. So, we just kind of, well, okay, you know, whatever. You know what's going on. You know? Just kind of forgot about it. But it just kept dimming. And then the whole house seemed kind of dark. All the lights in the house were all dark. And then one day when my dad passed away, we were in the hospital, and he was gone, and we came home. We came in, and right away, she was the first one, my mom, to point it out. Hey, you know, the lights are all bright now. It's so bright in here. You know, he just died, and already all the lights are back on. I mean, and the whole house had that lighter feel. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like you're like everything just lightened up, like there's a weight on you, or you're stressed or something, but it's all gone now. I mean, that's how it felt. She kept saying it got lighter. And no, not just the lights, but the feel of the house. It was like something was sitting on us or something, and it got up and let go of us or something. So she pointed that out. She was the first one. I said, yeah, I know. And I'm looking at the lights, and it's all bright. So that's another freaky thing, you know. All this was happening. All I was doing watching Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures on TV. I never really, I believed it in spirits, but I didn't really go investigate. I wasn't into the thing. I just watched TV and that was it. I mean, then I go to work. I mean, I wasn't searching for anything. But until the time when the thing had tried to attack me, like I said, the shadow figure, it looked like a bear. I said, I think earlier live stream, then it stood up as a man, it choked me, and then it got off and then took off. That was the only thing, that one incident is what actually got me into searching for answers. Like, what is it? What is paranormal? I mean, what causes this? How do I get rid of it? I mean, how do I keep it from coming back? I mean, what is it? I mean, is it evil? Is it good? What is it? I mean, and then my dad died. I got internet after that. After my dad died in 2009, I finally got internet. And the very first thing I started searching was shadow figures, shadow men, shadow anything, ghosts. What is it? You know, what is a shadow figure? And I couldn't find anything. Absolutely, you know, there was nothing. Nothing popped up. Nothing. And all it was showing me is images of people, drawings of ghosts and character drawings and stuff. Until finally, I found one website. It was a Chip Coffee website. And at the very bottom, it had a message board. You can ask any questions, no fear. It's all anonymous if you want to stay that way. So that's where I got on there, and I said, take a chance. Let me get on. I just look. I don't want to talk anything. I just, you know, I'm too quiet. I'm afraid to. I don't think anybody's had this experience except myself, being attacked like that. I mean, so I just read and read, and they had like different threads, different comment things, and different stories you can add to if you want. You can just read. And I went through the whole thing, and I couldn't find anything except maybe something. So I just asked a question, what is it? You know, then that's how I started, and people started to give me their advice, a lot of answers, and they pretty much confirmed each other, what it was, what it could be. I mean, it could have been anything. Just because it was dark colored, I mean, black or gray or whatever, no detail, it doesn't mean it was evil or something dark, but it could just be the way that energy is manifesting. But the only thing is, it would attack me. It was trying to choke me through my neck. So I'm thinking, this is not a good thing. You know, people told me maybe it's a family member who came back, or a friend or something. Why would a friend or family member try and choke me, try to scare me like that? And then it just took off. I never saw him. I mean, he never came back. Thank God, or goodness, or whatever. So, but that's the only incident that actually really got me into paranormal research, paranormal anything, searching for answers. And then kind of one thing led to another. I made friends who were paranormal investigators, and there was one friend came from Canada. She was here for a wedding. Her name is Janet Renzetti, and she kind of sort of talked me into going into like a paranormal investigation because I'd never done one before. Physically going somewhere, using equipment and stuff. So we did a tour called the Good Springs Ghost Hunt Tour. That actually went to Good Springs. This was the very first time I was ever at Good Springs. I never knew it existed until this tour. And when they took us in a van, they told us stories and showed pictures, and we took us to the saloon. We had a pizza. Then we drove through the town. We walked a little bit, and they were talking about the hot spots and stuff. And then we left. After that, it sort of increased. I didn't do much of paranormal investigating after that, physically going somewhere, until I watched the Ghost Adventures episode on the Pioneer Saloon. Because I knew I was there before with the first tour. I thought, oh, let me watch this. So, you know, since I've been there once. And I watched it, was like, oh, wow, you know, that's cool. I don't know if I can believe some of it. I mean, like they say, you know, some people, they edit out lots or something. Well, okay, you know, the show, but they got a couple voices and stuff like that. And then when I was on Facebook, all of a sudden this thing pops on the side, pops up, Haunted Lockdown. We were offering Haunted Lockdown. You can experience the same thing Zach and the guys did that one night in the saloon. So that's how I went. So I thought, it's kind of pricey, but I'm going to just go one time. Check it out, see what it's like. I mean, I've never done this before. I couldn't get And my friends signed up because they had either had to work or they were doing something else. So I thought, well, I'll go by myself. So I'm with other people anyway, the other people attending. So I drove out there and then I came in and we met Noel and met all the people who worked there. Jill was actually there too, and I met her there, and there were a few other people. And we did the lockdown. It was pretty cool. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, because there were so many people there, and the employees and Noel and everybody. And that's when I met Noel, and we started talking. And the weird thing was I was sitting there talking to another lady. Her name was Anna. We were talking about psychics and how they start and the different messages you get and stuff. We were just really talking about that right towards the end of the event. And all of a sudden, I could hear, and Noel was standing on the inside of the bar, listening to us, and he was talking to us. And suddenly I hear this Indian music. It was like a drumming, like dun 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 dun. But I also hear male voices singing, like Indian language. But I don't speak English. I don't speak American Indian. I don't know anything. So I have no idea what they were saying, but they were singing in Indian. It was all men, sounding voices. It was really far away and faint. So I didn't say anything at first. I just kind of looked at everybody's, faces to see if anybody was, reacting to the music. But nobody was saying anything. So I turned to Noel was there. And you hear that music? I hear, it sounds like Indian chanting or whatever music, drumming. And he says, no, I don't hear anything. And he goes, oh. But he says, it's very possible. He says, oh yeah. I went, oh yeah. And he goes, yeah, because this whole land used to be Indian lands, Indian territory. They used to have, he said he goes out, they do like excavations for the building and stuff to upgrade it. And then he said you would find pottery, you find arrowheads out there. There's lots of arrowheads nearby and stuff. So he goes, yeah, I can believe that. And I said, oh, you sure there's no Indian reservation nearby that maybe they were doing drumming late at night or something? I don't know. He goes, no, there's nothing. It's like, it's just us, the towns. I said, oh. But he was like, ooh, you're hearing something. Yeah. So that was pretty cool experience. I mean, I thought. So that's the first time I met Noel. We started talking. He said, oh, then he started seeing my pictures that I was taking. It was kind of strange, odd, a little bit odd kind of things. But he says, oh, you can come back, He asked me if I want to come back. And I said, well, I don't have the money to go every time. It was kind of pricey to me. I mean, I had not much money. So he goes, oh, you can come back, just come back and I'll let you in, take pictures or whatever. You can hang out. I said, okay. Well, thank you. That's nice of you, Cool, So then after that, I've been to almost every single lockdown event and that they have. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, and then now I'm part of their team, the Pioneer Saloon Investigators team. So that's it, taking pictures, meeting lots of people, experiencing like paranormal, all kinds of stuff. I met lots of other investigators, tourists, people just kind of interested in what's going on. I mean, experiencing, or other people who are psychic or like that. They want to experience it. I mean, I met lots of people, which is great for me. And I know lots of people out there. Jill, know a few bartenders. So, and the workers. So it's great. I mean, for me, after all these 3 years I've been doing this out there, it's turned out to be kind of a good experience for me. Before this, I was a lot more quiet and really kind of shy. But now that I've met people, look, I'm on this thing doing a live YouTube or whatever, live hangouts. I mean, just talking to nobody, talking to this little camera up there. Hopefully somebody's watching. It's like a 180 for me, almost a 180. So that's all the paranormal stuff. I don't know what else to talk about. So I guess I'll cut this off right now. It was nice talking to you guys. Whoever's watching. Looked like I had one viewer, and then they kind of cut off. So, talk to you later.